Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Kate in the Nest, and I hope you're ready for a bit of colour in this session. I'm going to be sharing today some things that are making me so happy. I hope you can hear it in my voice because I'm home from our little country road trip. I have my beautiful basket that will always remind me of that trip. I filled it with the last of the treasures, and beside me here I have the resultant work that I started on that trip. Not done yet, but I'm hoping that you'll enjoy seeing the results of this. And I suppose I have to say that I'm loving this idea that I am creating and making with things that I've gained on the journey, and that way it is truly a memorable, what's that big word? A memorable experience that keeps on going long after I'm home. Okay, so I'm going to put this away full of surprises. So we are going to stitch, don't worry. And I'll be looking to see what you think about some of the things. So here's the basket of joy. On top is my final tea cozy of the trip. It was sitting on a teapot in a gorgeous little cafe in the town of Cootamundra, which I went to with family before we came. It's got some holes in it. That does not worry me at all, and that's truly reflective of Kate's colours. So tea cozies. Here's a little bit of mohair blanket that now I'm totally in love with, and you'll see that in action a little bit later. Okay, I'm going to take them out of the basket. Oh my gosh, there's more in here than I thought. Oops. I'll just put the basket down beside. We might start from the bottom up, to be honest. So the last time I shared, I can't remember which town I was in. And ever since then, I went to some more stores. Some had zero and some were absolute bonanzas. So there was, I think this was in the town of Young. Yeah, Young, yes. A Salvation Army store that had very, very few embroideries, but what they did have was a lot of tablecloths. So this one is huge, and you might remember that I still not sure how to back I'm in the garden quilt, so I don't know. This is really, really large and in my colours and little flowers that could be embroidered, so I picked that up. This one, like they were all hanging up. Look at this price, $2, and it is just a pretty little tablecloth, tea cloth. And now I'm actually thinking, because we're having Thanksgiving, I might use some of these scattered over all the tables. But look at that, little blue roses. So blue certainly ended up being quite the theme of this trip. Now, remember, hang on, I'll go to my piece. You might remember that on the very first day of the shopping, I found this doily with the bluebird of happiness that is on both sides, in and out. Oh, my little thing has fallen out, but it makes a nice tingle. So I felt really blessed by that bluebird of happiness. Some are on the Betty quilt, and I know Sarah from Roxy Creations loves collecting birds. Well, Sarah, I'm joining you in that absolute love. So that was the beginning. And then at the end, in this particular store again, for $6, here is, where are they? A tablecloth with more birds and larger birds, and this beautiful floral here. So grabbed that. So I've got four more Bluebirds of Happiness in my collection. And then, is it the same store? Yep, in the absolute same store. Look at this. How pretty. Yes, I'm going to pull it up, stand up and look at this. These are beautiful hand-stitched birds with interwoven flowers all along the edges. And isn't that so pretty? It feels to me like I'm entering a blue. Look at that. A blue stage of my making, because these pieces, can you hear how happy I am? I just feel so blessed. And the evolution. So I'm just encouraging you, go to your stash, talk to your friends and see if you've got any pieces that can start you on this joyous journey. This is a little tray cloth, I think, and we've seen these sorts of works before, but I loved that this has really been used and worn, glowing, and that will go on I'm in the Garden for sure. The other, and I'm in a different town by now, I think, so don't, yeah, they're still salvos, but $1. Look at this. Absolutely exquisite fine work on this pink. So treasure, treasure. And then it was very fitting that on the final day I came across beautiful embroideries. I do feel that these are becoming more and more rare to find. I've seen this pattern before, but look at the work and the tiny little grapes on there. So just love that. In the same place, look at this. But now I am really, because I'm watching and noticing other people stitching, I'm now really starting to understand this use of satin stitch and the variegated colors. So that is absolutely beautiful. Another flower here leading into that. So again, I think that could be be featuring on my In the Garden quilt. The final piece I wanted to show you is very interesting. I haven't seen anything like this before. I'm bringing it up close because actually, and someone might be able to help me, this is a kangaroo, and I'm embarrassed not to be able to identify it, but it looks like a shield. And look at these beautiful flowers. So divine, and this unusual aqua. Both sides are the same, but the flowers are different. So this is very Kate. If I come up, can you see that these little flowers are not just one color? So a creative hand has had fun there, whereas on the other side, and see, look, there's a hole. So it truly has been, they're different again, but very inspiring. So a loved piece that will be truly loved by me. And just noticing that even the crochet looks like it's in the shape of a crown. So if you've seen pieces like that before, yeah, let me know. But I'm loving that. And again, it's blue. So finally, in my treasure trove, I'm going to show you the one garment that I bought, and it was new. And here we go. This is what I love supporting in our upcycling, sustainable, and just treasure, treasure, treasure. I found this in the little town of Gunning that has a great cafe called the Merino. And while my husband picked us up coffee and a sandwich, I said I need to check out this little shop called Creative Gunning. And look, they do have a website. So Janine has made this out of a vintage wool blanket with cotton lining. Look at it. It is the most beautiful. It's a cape, so it just fits over my shoulders in this beautiful blue, and look what's on the collar. Oh. And these really big, now the buttons look like they're new, and I could even change those if I wanted, I suppose, but it just fits over my shoulders, keeps me warm, and Australian wool blanket. Just had to share that with you. So keeping me warm, keeping my heart warm, and I'm hoping that's warming your heart. Okay, so that's treasure pile. I just have had so much fun, and I'm really grateful that so many of you have said you've enjoyed watching the little Oppy Shoppy tour with me. So now it's time to actually look at where we ended up. If you've watched the whole series, I took out this blanket, which had fringe all around it, and I did not know what I was going to do. I made a really big length. We're going to use one of these today. We'll just decide. So this is a little container. I got it, Dirty Jane's, in orange. Oh, it's a butterfly down there. Scoop. I just love that little precious, look at that, for a button. It'll be on a journal, I think, or a clutch, who knows. So little bundle of happiness, and hello little bunny, it might be you. I'll save some for the Betty quilt. Okay, so the big length has become 2 pieces now. It's become a vessel, which I will take you around, and a second piece. Now, I'm hoping, I'm really hoping this is going to make you smile and giggle and laugh, because we all need giggles in our life. I haven't shown you this doily because I've already used it in about 3 places. I must be going more and more quirky because I fell in love with this. It's a cotton crocheted swan. So as well as my bluebirds of happiness, I have taken it off the doily and I've put some stuffing in so she stands upright. So this now is the leftover length of the vessel, and it's going to be, well, it is already a trifold little pouch that I'm going to put a pincushion and probably not much else in it, just so that I can lay down when I'm working, lay it down with me. In fact, there's the mohair that could already be it. This was a crochet doily that I got along the way. I didn't show you in full, but I picked up a chenille really worn bedspread. Look at that. Love it. No fringes on it. Judy will be pleased. I'm having a little brag, but I do love those little ridges. And here is a doily that's really well worn, that I loved because it had fruit and some tiny little French knots. So there we are. That's my layer upon layer piece. That will be a trifold, front and back. It's got the doily I got on the first day. Thank you to my lovely subby who said you should use some of the Betty quilt on this trip, the basic fabric, because, you know, Betty's with you, and that's what I've done. So you'll see a lot of that fabric. Here's the sari silk. I will do just a wrap around that, and that's a good way of, you know, using your pieces up, and of course it's reversible. So yeah, thrilled with that. And I've got my signature little fringes out the side and the swan on top of happiness. Okay. The main piece, therefore, is the bluebird, and it's got the story of my trip so far. The butterfly you saw me do. This is the fabric from Orange, the gingham tablecloth from the first day, a piece that I bought when I was out there. These are very much first day. A little tiny bit of Liberty that was in Dirty Jane's. And here we go. Now, little story here. When this was the first one, oh, this one's got its beak. I didn't realize the other one was missing. Look at that. Can you see that? And I put it over the doily. But I didn't know what I was going to make. So I just was working on the strip and sewed this swanny on. Now, the irony is that she's now poking up this way. But I thought, well, I'd take it off. And I thought, no, just stay authentic. And it sort of also reminds me of Ozzy Ostrich, which was a character on a comedy show a long time ago in Australia. So anyway, the swan is, poking up rather than being the other, the right way around. More sari. I bought this one, I think. I shared with you on the first day. And round we go. So that's that. And then the inside, again, because I didn't know what I was making. And if you haven't seen those other parts and want to catch up, have a look. I really enjoyed doing both sides at once. As I've told you, Kate gets, that way I can not be bored because I'm always dreaming about what's on the other side. The other little piece of the Liberty fabric, the skirt. I hope you get what I'm trying to say. I'm encouraging you. If you go anywhere, go to an op shop, take a piece of base fabric with you and stitch away. It keeps in the car, on the train, wherever you are. And then when you come home, the joy continues. So down the bottom here is the mohair blanket. I only did one. Oh, see, I'm finding needles everywhere. I only did one circle, not the double layer, because this is really quite thick. I'm just looking for my pin cushion so I don't lose all those needles. Look at the tangle there already. This little, are those bunnies called Miffy? I don't know. So it stands up by itself. Now, I have a hint for you because I know quite a number are making nests and vessels. This time, because I had the strip, I actually took it to my dining room table, stood it up like this, and then went to my cupboard and found a plate. I bought 3 plates over and worked out which one would give me the diameter. So I know someone said, have I got a formula? No, I don't. But now my eyes sort of tell me, and that actually I thought was worth sharing with you. So if you've got your strip, stand it up and then try out a saucer or a bread and butter plate or a dinner plate or a large serving plate. So this is what I'd call a medium to small nest. I'm tending to like them larger now, but yeah, it's just making me so happy. All right, so what are we going to do? I haven't brought them down. Okay, I have got some. I'm so excited, I don't know where to start. I have a little J of goodies. I've got these buttons. I've got a little bit of mohair that I'd like to connect somewhere to this big nest, maybe on the outside to give a hint of the inside. And do remember, okay, let's just do that. The beauty of your nest is it's reversible. So, oh, look at that. If I reverse it, our swan can swim. Actually, that's a nice way of having it because I've also got the bluebird inside and the swanny. But for the moment, we'll go back out here. What was I trying to tell you? Oh, I want a bit of that blanket, which I've now dropped, and we're going to have a bunny, maybe a blue bunny, because that will signify my change of colour. I have already put a butterfly on, and somewhere maybe it's on the other piece. See, these are what you actually forget what you've done, and this is what I call malleable. You know, you can roll that bit over or squish it around. Okay, forget I've even talked about that, unless it's on here. No. Okay, well, that's where we're going to start. I want to use a button, and I'm late to sewing buttons on. I know a lot of stitchers use them in many places, and I know that I'm going to get hooked once I start. But I'm thinking that there's that bit of embroidery there, and I'm going to continue the flowers with that stem. I'm doing it loosely because I don't actually know where I'll end up, and that thread might come out in a minute. Doesn't really matter. Okay, what have I got on the other side? It's where it's a bit tricky. You could call this part Watch Kate Fumble, but it's happiness. Oops, I don't know whether this button will stay in that with the stem. Oh. I could have doubled this cotton over. Oh, that looks like it's staying. I hope you can get that idea that, see, there's the embroidered into the, so the embroidery into the stem on the button, which has got flowers on its end, and we've got this little bit of floral there as well. Just a few more. Okay, so that's that. And then, because we're here and we've got the bluebird of happiness, and I was talking about buttons, where's Blue Miffy gone? Oh, here. I'm calling him Miffy even if that's not true. So what about, I put that button up there with the ears and that stitching from the button before will be covered over. Such fun. Oops, that's another needle. So what are you all up to? What project or multiple projects is on your desk or table or lounge at the moment? Oops. Whatever it is, I'd love to hear about it. And it is, I was talking to someone the other day about just reading all our comments and, you know, being in this sort of community, you learn so much about each other, and it's very encouraging. And those of us who are sometimes very much alone in our houses and in our making can just turn a YouTube on and stitch away and feel connected. So I hope that's what you're doing now. Okay, I'm so happy with that. And of course it's adding a new texture. Oops. I will finish that off just so that they don't fall off. Okay. Oh. Oh, that's the cuteness factor. A bluebird of happiness and a Miffy button with ears up the top. And on the back, a flower to flower from this. Okay, so that's made my heart happy. The other thing I wanted to show you was when I decided not to stitch in the car by the end because we were stopping quite constantly and it was hard to, if I hadn't harvested enough things. So the other project that I've started is I am learning to make roses, crochet roses with multiple petals and then a flat base. These also sit like on a granny square, and I'm going to make a garment out of them. But I need about 60, and I've had a couple of practice goes. So because this came on the journey with me, it is now going to feature. Oh, I just plopped that down, and I'm actually thinking, would that be lovely to center a rose in the middle? I think so. So I'm just going to, I always leave these on. Have I got a fine crochet hook down here? We will see. I've had this crochet hook for a long time and use it with my paper. So let's just finish this off. No one will see the bottom, but just to tie off these ends. Pull the magic circle tight. Knot it off. Can make those a little bit shorter now. Now, will this matter if I go reversible? It'll just give it a bit of height. I think that's all right. Now, finally, with there, no, that would be a waste. I'm just thinking I could center something in there. That little button, or a little butterfly. Look at that. I've forgotten where that little, where's the snail? This is how my mind works. Now, what color did I have it? Out there on the edge, I had that one. So in here, I think it's the butterfly is going to win because, as I've shared, this has been my year of transformation, emerging out of the flower. That symbolizes so much joy for all of us. That's what we're going to do. So let us, just going to stitch the butterfly. It's hard because it's all fine stitching. that I'm coming through. Won't need much. Oh, so hard. I'll go over near the wings. But this is worth persisting with. While I'm stitching, I hope you can be just looking at all those different edges. Oh, I forgot to say I put some stuffing in those roses, just to make them stand up a bit more. Really enjoying that. Okay, there's a little, just 2 stitches into that butterfly. Oh, let's sort of find the center. I'll stand up again. Sorry about the squeaky chair. Yep, in there. Still got a thread on. Yep. Where do I go now? I'll go through here again. Really, it doesn't matter very much. There you go. So there's going to be a little flower in there, a few stitches. If I end up reversing it, I can put something here. But look at this mohair, it just... the stitches disappear and it's just beautiful. And I know mohair blankets are very expensive, but that one, used and loved and stained, was not expensive. So I'm going to treasure that. All right, I would like... okay. Oh, I was going to say, I want to finish with some really bold stitching around that side, but I'm realizing I haven't got my hot pink. So what I will do, yeah, I haven't got enough down here. What I will do is make really big overcasting stitches, so it truly is the center of that. Oh, look, maybe that's the way I'll use it. Bluebird rabbit, that reminds me of my mum making, I think I made a big rabbit as my first ever stuffed toy. So is there one other thing I know I wanted to signify that where we went was wine country, so very famous, the Orange area, I think, for its wines. So I thought a bit of this has been such a beautiful piece that features in so many of my works. So one doily, if you get one, and I'm really loving the stitched ones, signify, you know, can be used in all your pieces. And so I'll know always about this trip. Okay, Liberty. Liberty, grapes, flowers, and a little bit of sticky over the end and the gingham. Which way do I want it? I think like that. So we've got the curve of that crochet going into there. After this, I'm going to play and unpack and find places for my new treasures to live. And then I actually am going to film again because it's a a day at home and I have so many projects and a clear mind. You know when that you go away, and they say, what is it? A break is, I don't know what that, can't remember. But what I'm trying to say, I feel fresh, energized, full of gratitude, and I think that helps the creative juices flow. And so I'm going to run with it while I can. It's also daylight saving, the change of the clock today. So it's already 1 hour later than it feels like, which means I'll be staying up late. The clock might tell me it's time to go to bed, but Kate will not be going. All right, I'm in the sari over here that just needs a little bit of anchoring. So let's add a little bit of my stitching to this beautiful piece of sari. Actually, you can't see it, but that was an experiment when I said that, but it would be lovely. I think I'm going to do more of this, stitch into embroideries like this. So it's layer upon layer. There we go, some stitching, and over here we've got a blank spot. So what better way to finish than with a daisy for you all, and for me, and the swan to look at. Just so, it's making me smile so much now that I've realised about the beak on the swan. Just enough cotton. I haven't done this before, but that's pearl, and I've just doubled it. And it's actually made the daisy look like it's got double petals, which adds more texture there. All right, through. Lost it. Where's the needle gone? There. Okay, my friends, I think that is probably a good spot to finish. Miffy and the Bluebird of Happiness are wishing you all the best ahead. I'm thinking of you, sending love and blessings. This is Kate in the nest, back in the happy, happy place. And so until next time, keep well, and I'll see you soon. Bye.